Hey, it's Lynn Brown. And yes, I'm a results coach. Well, really, when I'm filling out forms online and they ask your profession, that's what I type in. But trust me, when I say this, when I tell you I spent the first half of my life caught in the comparison trap, I am not kidding you. You hear me? And then it's kind of funny. Well, not really funny, but in my spare time when I wasn't comparing myself to everybody else, I was an expert people pleaser. And I'll tell you that neither of those things got me very far. In fact, I literally spent the first half of my life there. I was just trapped. It was like living in a mental prison. My toxic thoughts poisoned my thinking. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm a person of faith. I was raised in church, sitting on the second row. I have a great family. I had everything I needed. Probably spoiled rotten to know, if you want to know the truth about it all. But despite all the outside circumstances, it was my thoughts. It was my toxic thoughts that drove my behavior. And I can almost remember every Sunday starting over. Every Sunday I'd say, okay, I'd say the same prayer, I'd have the same wish, and I would get the same results. I had no idea that it was my thoughts that were holding me back. And I just want to let you know that living in a mental prison, it will twist your thinking. But I wasn't even aware that I could change my thinking. That's what's so ironic about the whole thing is that I wasn't aware that I could be strong in my heart and in my mind. And I just thought that the outside circumstances determined all that. We've all heard, the funny little saying, I'm just in my head. But literally, I was trapped in my head. I was trapped in my own thinking. And wherever you are right now, you are where you are as a result of your very best thinking too. And hey, maybe you're sitting there going, Lynn, I'm at the top of my game. Well, hats off to you, gritty sister. I am proud and happy for you because you have not gotten there by wishing and wanting. You've gotten there by busting your butt. I know you have. But I just want us to stay in this for a minute and think about these thoughts. The average person has 30 to 60,000 thoughts a day. And I know, I'm happy to say that I'm a positive person, but y'all, 70% of the thoughts that we think every day, number one, they're the same thoughts that we thought yesterday. Isn't that a scary thought? And then the other thing is that 70% of these thoughts are negative, and that is not okay. And like I said, I'm a person of faith, and so the big book that I love to read, it says something totally different. That's not what the big book says. We are to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Renew wouldn't mean to reflect back on the same thoughts that we thought yesterday, last week, last month, last year. New is new. But somehow, I did this for the first half of my life. 50 years, girls, 50 years. And then one day I just woke up. It was like I had an awakening. I've heard of people having that before, but I had never experienced it. But I'm here to tell you that we have a choice. I have a choice and you have a choice. And becoming aware of our thoughts is step one. Even just knowing that you're aware, you don't really know how to fix it, but you're aware that you want to. Hey, that's more than half the battle right there, because what you become aware of, you can fix. And it's step one. You trust me, you want to add this to your grit kit. A grit kit is something that I have personally that I just reach into daily. They're just ways, they're gentle reminders, symbols of things that you can just see, and they're like anchors. They're like mile markers. They remind you of what you want and what you believe. Wayne Dyer was right. He said, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. And I'm going to add this too. When you are aware of the way you think about things, the things that you think about change. Not long ago, I found a picture of me It was when I was in first grade. I was sitting on the front row, and right next to me was my friend Marie. Marie was the smartest. We all thought she was the teacher's pet because she would always raise her hand, and she would get called on a lot because she was very, very smart. So she got to take, the special notes to the front office, and she got to dust the erasers. That was before we had smart boards, and you have a chalkboard, and that was a privilege to take the erasers outside and dust them. And she got chosen a lot because she was always finished with the work first. Not me. By the way, I was 5 years old when I began to compare myself to my friend Marie. So let me ask you this. Are you ready for a challenge? I know you're thinking, I just wanted to listen to the podcast, girl. I don't need a big challenge. But you know what? The only reason I throw out challenges is because they make us better. They make us stretch. They make us grow. They give us new insight. They move me into action. To change something, we got to do something. It's not just going to be wishing and wanting. Trust me. So for the next week, until we jump on the next podcast, I want you to just be aware of your thoughts and just get a little book. You don't have to go out and get a special notebook or anything like that. Just grab some notebook around your house, a scrap of paper. I don't care what it is. If you have to use your phone, use your phone. But just write down your thoughts. Be aware of your thoughts. If you have a limiting belief, if somebody says something and you feel a gut reaction inside, you feel funny, you feel worried or anxious or upset or mad, or you feel like you need to defend yourself, write that thought down. This is step 1. I'm going to say it again now. Don't spend 3 weeks getting ready to find the notebook and the right pen in the right place and all that. Just do it. I'm just telling you, just do it. Because these thoughts, even though they seem so subtle, they're so cunning and they're so sneaky. They're like weeds in a garden. Sure, you can go out and put plants down. You can throw mulch in your garden and cover up the weeds, but those weeds are going to find their way through. And it's no different than the toxic thoughts in our brains and in our minds. They're going to find their way through. They're going to come in and they're going to take over the growth in your mind, just like your weeds take over the growth in your garden. So we got to take time to find the weeds. We got to take time to find these thoughts, to identify these thoughts, because if we don't, they will continue to grow and become larger. Because these thoughts, they become stories and they become programs like software, like computer software, and they just play over and over and over. And our brains, guys, they're like supercomputers. And what we say to ourselves, what we think about, that's the program that is running in our supercomputers. And if we do not change the hardware, and if we don't change the software, we're going to get the same message, the same story, and the same results. Because our thoughts, what we think, our self-talk, all that drives our behavior. It drives our mindsets. So many people think it's your intelligence that determines how far you go and if you can break through the things that hold you back, and it's your talents and your abilities. And so many people think they can't change. Oh, you're just born with it. Oh, she's just a natural, or he's just a natural. No, I call bogus story on that. BS. This is a family show, so it's a bogus story. I call that, though, because you have a growth mindset. You can create a growth mindset. We are all born with innate ability to learn. I mean, just watch a young baby begin to mimic and babble and learn how to make sounds. And even before they can say a word, if they point to something, they go or oh or ooh or whatever. They make these sounds before they can articulate and make words. That's an innate ability, and we have the innate ability to learn and grow and change. I don't know if you know any people like this, but there's some people, I'm sure we've all run into them in the marketplace. I'm sure nobody, certainly not you or anybody but there are people that truly think that if everybody else would change, if the world would change, if their zip code would change, if their height or weight, if their hair was straight or curly, if they were skinny or fatter or smarter or dumber or richer or poor or whatever. They think it's just like somebody's the matter with me. And guys, I'm sorry, but this is a corny old saying, but we got to build a bridge and get over it. We are products of our very best thinking. And that's the end of the story. As they say, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But so often when we're stuck in this pattern of these toxic thoughts, and we know, research has proven, we are thinking the same thoughts, the majority of them every day, we just drift. I was even talking to a friend earlier and I was like, gosh, this year, 2020's been a little different. We started out with this laser focused 2020 vision, and all of a sudden everything got so cloudy and unclear, and it's like a blur. I remember March, and now I'm like, it's October. How did we get here so fast? But there's been a lot of blurry in there, but I've just really leaned into my growth, and I've annihilated some more limiting beliefs, and I'm a work in progress. I will tell you that. I tell you that all the time, but we just have to spend the same amount of time on creating the stories in our minds that we do want. So you have a choice. It can be the toxic. It can be the toxic, stories. It could be the toxic playlist. Or it can be the healthy, growth-oriented playlist that matches your values and your passion. But you decide. You can write your new story. You can write your new song. And you know where you are right now? I used to beat myself up about where I was. Oh, here we go again. Every Monday, growing up in high school, college, and beyond, I would start a program every Monday. And that meant that I would try to change my eating patterns. But until I changed how I really felt about myself on the inside, my self-image, nothing on the outside changed. So that's a whole nother train. We'll do that another time. But what we think about does matter. So you're in the right place. Wherever you are right now, pat yourself on the back. You're in the right place. It's where you're supposed to be. And no, you shouldn't have heard this message 20 years ago, because guess what? You wouldn't have heard it. You weren't ready for it. You're ready for it today. And that's why we're super excited. The Gritty Sister Squad is planning a big time 63 Days to Gritty finish for this year. We're launching on October 28th. So you want to make sure to just stay tuned for that. And you can message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or just email me. You can shoot me an email if you want to, Lynne, Lynne, @lynnebrown.net. And you can send me your request for info, and we'll be getting that out to you this week. And for those of you already wondering, how much is this going to cost? The holidays are coming. Well, it's $63. That's it. I'm practically giving it away, okay? Trust me, you don't want to know how much money I've invested in my personal growth in the last 7 years. But some of us, it takes more. But one of my favorite verses, I can't even tell you where it is in the Bible, but there it talks about freedom, and it talks about the greater the bondage, the greater the liberty. So I think that's why I'm so super excited about life now. I'm just alive. I'm living full out. I'm fearless. I've gone from this broken mindset to bulletproof. And the other day I got up and I thought it was time for me I thought my coffee was ready, and I thought it was 5 o'clock. That's when I get up, and I was hitting the floor running, and it was 3:18. But I was ready. I was ready for the day. And trust me, when you've lived half your life caught in the comparison trap and just living like you were living in a toxic mental prison, you get excited to live. It's funny, my brother-in-law always says God and my brother-in-law beat cancer, and he always says, when you face death, nothing else really bothers you much. He truly lives his life like that too. So here we go. Gear up, get ready. The price is only $63. Guys, that's $1 a day for the last 63 days of this year, starting October 28th. $1 a day. That's less than coffee. It's less than a soda. It's less than whatever it is you spend your money on, $1 a day. And so you said, well, I don't have it. Well, you know what you want, you find a way to have it. So, hey, look in the car, the floorboard of your car, look in the dryer. I don't know. Bake a cake, sell it. I don't know what you have to do. Sell your a pillow off your couch. I don't know what you got to do to get your money, but you will. You'll find a way. And the cool thing is we're doing a buy one, give one just because I love to give. And I want to serve people I'll never even meet. But so here's the deal. You register, and then you're going to be able to gift a registration to somebody special to you. So we're looking for Gritty Sisters. We're building this Gritty Sister squad, and we're going to do this thing, and we're going to finish this year strong so that when January 1 rolls around, we're not just flipping over our new pretty little shiny planner with glitter all over it. We are going to be in the ring with our boxing gloves on, ready to face 21 regardless of the circumstances. We're gonna face it and be fired up and ready to roll out. So anyway, Gritty is the new pretty. And remember, if you want to improve the results, this is the place for you. And it's messy in the middle, but we're gonna fight through it, and we're gonna get there. So no more drifting, no more drifting. And I'm living proof that this works. I'm living proof. So just borrow my belief. I didn't have any either 7 years ago. Now I've got plenty for me and you, so just take some of mine. I'll be happy to give it to you. And remember my favorite verse, Romans 12:2. We will be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And yeah, I memorized that at summer camp singing Kumbaya with the marshmallows stuck on my flip-flop. But I'm telling you what, until I began to believe it for me, nothing changed. And I thank God over the last 5 years that has happened. So save the date, October 28th. And remember, be thinking about the person you're going to gift a registration to. You're going to sign up for 63, and that's going to give you an opportunity to gift it to a friend. So message me. Message me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Email me. Lynn, Lynne, @lynnbraun.net. I believe in you, Gritty Sister. I'll see you soon. Take care.